chart of expressing.
The art of expressing comparisons. 6.1.1 Think that in this summer vacation, with your family, you are planning to visit a place in Bangladesh. Now you need to make decisions on many things. Now, look at the following illustrations and decide which one you will choose from the given options for your visit. Later, share your list of choices for the journey with the class, explaining why you chose them.
মনে করো এই গ্রীষ্মের ছুটিতে তুমি তোমার পরিবারের সাথে বাংলাদেশের একটি জায়গা ভ্রমণের পরিকল্পনা করছো। এখন তোমাকে অনেক বিষয়ে সিদ্ধান্ত নিতে হবে। নিচের ছবিগুলো দেখো এবং তোমার ভ্রমণের জন্য প্রদত্ত বিকল্পগুলোর মধ্যে কোনটি তুমি বেছে নেবে সে সিদ্ধান্ত নাও। পরে, ভ্রমণের জন্য তোমার পছন্দের তালিকাটি শ্রেণীতে শেয়ার করো এবং কেন সেই জায়গাগুলো বেছে নিয়েছো তা ব্যাখ্যা করো।
Bus. English. E. Luggage. Suitcase. Bag. V. Shoe. Sneakers. Slippers. Academic year 2024. 79.
V. CMR. Mobile. Chart of expressing comparisons. Display.
V. Camera. Mobile. The art of expressing comparisons. DSLR. V. Books. Fictions, adventure. William Golding, Lord of the Flies. Magazine. Reader's Digest. Bridging the Stranger SAP. Nabaruna. V. Snacks for the journey. Bread banana. Sandwich. Academic year 2024. 6.1.2 Now, in groups discuss and reflect on the steps you have followed to choose one from the alternatives. The following steps for making a choice are for your help. You can use them and add steps if you need them. Later, arrange the steps in the given flowchart. Finally, share your flowchart for making a choice with the class.
এখন দলে আলোচনা করো এবং বিকল্পগুলোর মধ্যে থেকে একটি পছন্দ করার জন্য যে ধাপগুলো অনুসরণ করেছো তা নিয়ে ভাবো। সিদ্ধান্ত গ্রহণের জন্য নিচের ধাপগুলো তোমার সুবিধার জন্য দেওয়া হলো। তুমি এ ধাপগুলো অনুসরণ করতে পারো এবং প্রয়োজনে আরও ধাপ যুক্ত করতে পারো। নিচের ফ্লোচার্ট এ ধাপগুলো সাজাও। সবশেষে শ্রেণীতে তা শেয়ার করো।
Steps. Explore more about the alternatives. Identify your need. Compare the advantages and disadvantages of the options. Review your choice. Select the suitable option.
ধাপসমূহ। বিকল্পগুলো সম্পর্কে আরও অনুসন্ধান করো। নিজের প্রয়োজন শনাক্ত করো। বিকল্পগুলোর সুবিধা এবং অসুবিধাগুলোর তুলনা করো। নিজের পছন্দ পর্যালোচনা করো। উপযুক্ত পছন্দটি বাছাই করো।
6.2.1 Now, let's see what we compare of a thing, person, object etc. to choose one from the alternatives. Read the following two texts, and in pairs, groups, identify the similarities and differences between viruses and bacteria in Text 1 and culture and civilization in Text 2. Later, present your findings in front of the whole class.
চলো দেখি কোনো বিকল্প থেকে একটিকে বেছে নেওয়ার ক্ষেত্রে কোনো ব্যক্তি, বস্তু অথবা বিষয়ের কোন বৈশিষ্ট্যটি আমরা তুলনা করি। নিচের টেক্সট দুটি পড়ো এবং জোড়ায় বা দলে টেক্সট 1-এ দেওয়া ভাইরাস এবং ব্যাকটেরিয়া এবং টেক্সট 2-এ দেওয়া সংস্কৃতি ও সভ্যতার মধ্যে মিল এবং অমিলগুলো চিহ্নিত করো। পরে শ্রেণীতে তোমার প্রাপ্ত ফলাফল শেয়ার করো। থেগ 1।
Viruses and bacteria are microscopic organisms. Bacteria are single-celled and considered living organisms. Viruses are not cells but genetic material, DNA or RNA, enclosed in a protein coat. They do not have cellular structures and are considered non-living particles. Viruses and bacteria have the potential to cause infections and diseases in humans, animals and plants. Both have mechanisms for replication. Bacteria can reproduce independently through binary fission. On the other hand, viruses require a host cell to replicate. Antibiotics can kill the growth of bacteria, but they are not effective against viruses. Bacteria are larger than viruses. Viruses and bacteria can be transmitted from one organism to another through various means. Academic year 2024. 82. (6.2.1) Now, let's see what we compare of a thing, person, object, etc. to choose one from the alternatives. Read the following two texts, and in pairs, groups, identify the similarities and differences between viruses and bacteria in text 1 and culture and civilization in text 2. Later, present your findings in front of the whole class.
চলো দেখি কোনো বিকল্প থেকে একটিকে বেছে নেওয়ার ক্ষেত্রে কোনো ব্যক্তি, বস্তু অথবা বিষয়ের কোন বৈশিষ্ট্যটি আমরা তুলনা করি। নিচের টেক্সট দুটি পড়ো এবং জোড়ায় বা দলে টেক্সট 1-এ দেওয়া ভাইরাস এবং ব্যাকটেরিয়া এবং টেক্সট 2-এ দেওয়া সংস্কৃতি ও সভ্যতার মধ্যে মিল এবং অমিলগুলো চিহ্নিত করো। পরে শ্রেণীতে তোমার প্রাপ্ত ফলাফল শেয়ার করো। থেগ 1।
Viruses and bacteria are microscopic organisms. Bacteria are single-celled and considered living organisms. Viruses are not cells but genetic material, DNA or RNA, enclosed in a protein coat. They do not have cellular structures and are considered non-living particles. Viruses and bacteria have the potential to cause infections and diseases in humans, animals and plants. Both have mechanisms for replication. Bacteria can reproduce independently through binary fission. On the other hand, viruses require a host cell to replicate. Antibiotics can kill the growth of bacteria, but they are not effective against viruses. Bacteria are larger than viruses. Viruses and bacteria can be transmitted from one organism to another through various means. Academic year 2024. 82. Text 2. Culture and civilization involve shared values, beliefs, norms and customs that guide the behavior of individuals within a society. Civilizations tend to be broader in scope than cultures. A civilization includes multiple cultures within its boundaries and involves larger populations compared to culture. Cultures and civilizations often produce art, literature, music and other forms of creative expression that reflect their values, aesthetics and traditions. Both cultures and civilizations develop languages to facilitate social interaction. Civilizations are often recognized for their historical impact, such as the civilizations of Egypt, Greece or China, while cultures may be more localized. 83. Academic year 2024.
Chart of expressing comparisons.
The art of expressing comparisons. You may record your findings in the following grid. Add as many rows as you need. Similarities. Differences. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Text 1. Viruses and bacteria. Text 2. Culture and civilization. 1, 2, 3. 6.2.2 Now, notice the grid carefully and in pairs, groups. Identify what features of viruses, bacteria, culture and civilization you compare. Then, record them in the given grid. Finally, check your responses with other groups.
জোড়ায় বা দলে নিচের সারণীটি ভালোভাবে লক্ষ্য করো এবং ভাইরাস, ব্যাকটেরিয়া, সংস্কৃতি এবং সভ্যতার কি কি বৈশিষ্ট্য তুলনা করছো তা খুঁজে বের করো। তারপর প্রদত্ত সারণীতে উক্ত বিষয়গুলো লেখো। পরে তোমার উত্তরগুলো অন্য দলের সাথে যাচাই করো।
One is done for you. Comparable feature. 1. Size. 2. Example sentence from the text. Viruses and bacteria are microscopic organisms. Academic year 2024. 3, 4, 5. 84. English. 6.3.1 Now, read the note below and explore the techniques for writing a compare and contrast text. Later, check your understanding of the note by doing the activities it follows. Note. Compare and contrast essay. Compare and contrast essay is a common type of academic essay writing topic. Compare refers to exploring similarities between subjects, while contrast means to look at their differences. A compare and contrast essay explores the similarities and differences between two subjects to have some deeper insight into the two. In a compare and contrast essay, we either compare the two subjects, contrast them, or sometimes do both. The subjects we compare in the essay are usually in the same category, although they have their differences. For example, we can write an essay comparing two books or contrasting them, or can do both to get a clear understanding of them. Likewise, it can be two movies, two cities, and two schools. When we write a compare and contrast essay, we try to make connections between the two subjects that are not obvious but illustrate the subtle, surprising or unexpected similarities and differences between the subjects. So, to write a compare and contrast essay, you need to use your observations and analytical skills to pay close attention to the issues, analyze the information and make meaningful arguments about the issues to compare them. There are a couple of ways to write a compare and contrast essay. Here, we will learn about the popular twos. One is the block structure, and the other is the point-by-point structure. 1. The block structure. The block structure is a little bit easier to write than the point-by-point method. This structure includes an introduction, two body paragraphs and a conclusion. The first body paragraph talks about various features of one subject, and the second body paragraph discusses the similar features of another subject. So, in the block structure, each paragraph focuses on one separate thing, and altogether, you have 4 paragraphs. 2. The point-by-point structure. This structure gives the readers more detail about the subjects that are compared, and readers may find it more interesting. Then the block method. This method is a bit different from the block method, as, in this method, you will get more than 2 paragraphs in the body. Each body paragraph talks about one point of comparison. For example, if the first paragraph talks about one point of comparison, the second paragraph will focus on a different point of comparison. 85. The art of expressing comparisons. Now, let's explore how to brainstorm some similarities and differences between the two subjects to write a compare and contrast essay. Let's look at a simple example of compare and contrast essay from Activity 6.1.1, that is, which transportation, rail or bus, you will choose for the journey. To write the essay, the first thing you should do is to grab a piece of paper and make a list with 2 columns, similarities and differences. Then, jot down the key things first, then the most striking ones. Here, you can also use a Venn diagram, 2 circles that overlap. Now, in the section where it overlaps, note the similarities and differences in the part of the circle that does not overlap. So first, about a rail journey, we can write rail is spacious, seats are comfortable, less risky, eco-friendly, have toilet facilities, etc. On the other hand, a bus journey is comparatively fast, flexible, available but risky and congested. Now, write these characteristics in the part of the circle that does not overlap. And in the section that overlaps, let's write the similarities, like both are land transportation, need money to travel and stop for a while at certain stops. This diagram will help you to organize similarities and differences and give you a clear idea of the things you can write about. Now, your ideas are ready and organized in the Venn diagram to write the essay. And it will look like the following one. Venn diagram. Venn diagram. Tomato. Red flesh, mushy, savory. Fruit, round, smooth skinned. White flesh, firm, sweet. Apple. Academic year 2024. 86. English. So, let's move forward and focus on the block structure. We will start with an introduction para. Like other types of writing, the introduction para includes a hook to grab the reader's attention, some background information about the subjects, and lastly, a clear and focused thesis statement. For the essay, the introduction may be: rail and bus are the 2 common and most used transportation to travel in our country. Both are land transportations, yet they differ in a lot of ways. Rail travel may take more time than bus travel, but a journey by train is definitely more comfortable than a journey by bus. Here, the introduction gives the readers a signal that as both of them are land transportation, they are similar in many ways. Again, the use of the specific word yet tells them that the essay is going to focus not only on the similarities but also on the differences between traveling by rail and traveling by bus. Moreover, the thesis sets up the 2 subjects to be compared and contrasted, rail vs bus travel, and it makes a claim about the results that might prove useful to the reader. It's time to write the first body paragraph. Here, we will talk about rail travel and how it is similar to bus travel. So, let's start writing. Don't forget to use your ideas in the Venn diagram. People always travel by rail and bus. Both of them are public land transportation. They are always crowded and also have the risk of pickpocketing. So, passengers always need to be careful about their belongings. Now, it's your turn to write the rest 2 similarities following the Venn diagram. Let's move to the second body paragraph. Here, we will write about bus travel and how they are different from rail travel. Traveling by bus is usually faster than a train, but sometimes the bus needs more time to reach the destination places because of traffic jams. On the other hand, the train has its own path and there is no traffic jam at all. So, instead of being faster, the bus is sometimes slower than the train. Now, add 2 more points following the Venn diagram. So, now we will write the conclusion paragraph. In the conclusion, we will restate the thesis. 87. Restate the points of comparison, and maybe the art of expressing comparisons. Give an opinion or realization. Our conclusion paragraph may look like this. To conclude, we can say it is clear that people use rail and bus for traveling different places for their advantages and disadvantages. They have similarities, but they are different in many ways, like traveling by train is more comfortable, less risky and eco-friendly than traveling by bus. So to my opinion, traveling by rail is preferable than traveling by bus. Now, write the whole essay and share it with your groups. Finally, share it with the class. It's time to focus on the point-by-point structure. Like the block structure, the point-by-point structure also includes an introduction paragraph, body paragraphs and a conclusion paragraph. But the point-by-point structure is different from the block structure as it has more than 2 body paragraphs and each body paragraph talks about both the subjects which are compared. The structure of a point-by-point method looks like this. Introduction or an introductory paragraph. Body paragraph 1 Point of comparison 1. Your point. Body paragraph 2 Point of comparison 2. Your point. Body paragraph 3 Point of comparison 3. Your point. Conclusion or a concluding paragraph. In this essay, 3 points of comparison, both similarities and dissimilarities, are talked about in the 3 body paragraphs and each paragraph will focus on a point of comparison. The introduction paragraph. Academic year 2024. It's your turn to write the introduction paragraph following the block structure as they are similar. Don't forget to mention your points of comparison in the thesis statement as the points will let the readers know what points your body paragraphs are focusing. 88. English. On. Make sure that you are using the correct language and transitional words to inform your readers what you are going to tell. Write your introduction paragraph here. The first body paragraph. Let's explore what would be inside the first body paragraph. To write the first body paragraph, follow your thesis. Suppose, from the Venn diagram, your first point of comparison is rail journey is more comfortable than the bus journey. Your first body paragraph may look like this. Comfort is a primary concern of people when they travel from one place to another, especially if it is a long journey. The train is spacious and has more leg space. People can move freely if they need and don't need to be stuck to their seats. In contrast, the bus is congested and there is little space for legs and hand luggage. Passengers don't have any option but to sit in their seats. If it is a long-distance journey, sometimes the elderly passengers get sick. So, it's clear that both the transports have their distinct features and are different from each other. So, write 2 more body paragraphs following your thesis statement. Write your body paragraph 2 here. Write your body paragraph 3 here. Now, it's time to write the conclusion paragraph following the block structure as they are similar. Write your conclusion paragraph here. Finally, compile the whole essay and share it in groups and later with the class. 6.3.1. Let's check our comprehension of the note. Read the note again and identify the similarities and differences between block structure and point-by-point structure. Then, share your findings in pairs, groups. You may use the following grid to record your findings. Add as many rows as you need. Kalo notati sampark amara ki bujechi ta yakai kari. 89. Academic year 2024.
নোটটি আবার পড়ো এবং বলক স্ট্রুকতুরি অ্যান্ড পয়েন্ট বে পয়েন্ট স্ট্রুকতুরি এর মধ্যে মিল এবং পার্থক্যগুলো চিহ্নিত করো। তারপর জোড়ায় বা দলে তোমার পাওয়া তথ্য শেয়ার করো। তথ্য সংরক্ষণের জন্য নিচের সারণীটি ব্যবহার করতে পারো। প্রয়োজন অনুযায়ী সারি যুক্ত করে নাও।
Similarities. Differences. Block structure and point-by-point structure. 1. 1. 2. 2. 3. 3. 6.3.2 Now, read the text and ask and answer the following questions in pairs, groups. Later, share your responses with the class.
এখন থেগটি পড়ো এবং দলে বা জোড়ায় নিচের প্রশ্নগুলো আলোচনা করো। পরে তোমার উত্তরগুলো শ্রেণীতে শেয়ার করো।
English. The demand for organic foods has increased in the last 20 years. The USA and many European markets have noted increased sales. The increase can be attributed to the views of many consumers that organic foods are safer, tastier, and healthier than non-organic foods. Besides that, organic foods pose less environmental pollution risk than non-organic foods. Realizing these reasons, the demand for organic foods is rising despite being more expensive. Foods that are grown without any artificial chemical treatment or by other substances that have been modified genetically are referred to as organic foods. A food product that is free of any artificial additives such as preservatives, flavoring, sweeteners, and colorings is known as organic food. On the other hand, foods grown using chemicals are labeled as inorganic foods. Organic foods, according to many studies, have high quantities of antioxidants compared to non-organic foods. Certain types of micronutrients such as iron, zinc, and vitamin C are higher in organic foods than non-organic foods. Organic foods with high antioxidants are helpful for the body due to their role in reducing the risk of developing chronic illnesses. Non-organic foods contain some toxic pesticides, such as cadmium, which is absent in the case of organic foods. There also exist considerable differences between organic and non-organic foods in their appearance. Organic foods appear to be more natural than non-organic foods. Non-organic foods, because of chemical usage, attain almost perfect shapes in contrast to organic foods' imperfect and natural appearances. Organic animal foods also have significant differences from their counterparts. Organic dairy products have high levels of omega-3 fatty acids, and organic meat has low levels of saturated fats. Organic animal foods with omega-3 fatty acids will have health benefits. On the contrary, non-organic animal foods may increase health risks. To sum it up, there are some similarities in the nutritional contents between organic and non-organic food substances. However, there are several considerable differences in the number of antioxidants, as well as other minerals present in organic and non-organic foods. Generally speaking, organic foods are more helpful for preventing chronic illnesses since they contain higher quantities of antioxidants than non-organic foods. Additionally, organic foods have fewer nitrates and pesticide residues like cadmium that are dangerous to human health at high concentrations than non-organic foods. Organic foods, further, have higher levels of omega-3 fatty acids than non-organic foods, which has more positive effects on health. Questions. A. In which structure is this essay written? Explain your response with examples. B. How many body paragraphs are there in the essay? 91.
Chart of increasing comparison.
S. What are the points of comparison the writer has used in the essay? D. How many similarities and differences between organic and non-organic foods are talked about in the essay? E. Do you think the writer has shared his opinion in the essay? If yes, explain your answer. F. Does the writer restate the thesis and points of comparison in the conclusion? If yes, describe your responses. G. If you want to add a body paragraph, what will be your point S of comparison? 6.3.2.1 Read the essay again and identify the following characteristics of a compare and contrast essay in the text. Then, describe them with example sentence S in the second column next to their names. One is done for you. Name of the part. Your description with example sentence S. 1. The compared subjects. The increase can be attributed to the views of many consumers that organic foods are safer, tastier, and healthier than inorganic foods. From this sentence, we understand that the essay compares and contrasts organic foods and inorganic foods. 2. The thesis statement. 3. Point of comparison 1. Academic year 2024. 4. Point of comparison 2. 92. Your answer. The art of expressing comparisons. Paragraph 2. The bridge is considered a more challenging construction project compared to any others. Building a bridge over the Padma River is challenging compared to any other river considering its width and depth. It is the longest bridge in Bangladesh, with a length of 6.15 kilometers. It overshadows any other bridge in length in Bangladesh. When compared to it, only Bangabandhu Bridge comes somewhat close to it, with a length of 4.98 kilometers. Two other bridges can be compared to it lengthwise, namely Bangabandhu Railway Bridge, 4.8 kilometers, and Rupsha Rail Bridge, 5.13 kilometers. The Padma Bridge is a two-level road rail bridge. The steel truss bridge carries a four-lane highway on the upper level and a single-track railway on the lower level. Contrarily, both the Bangabandhu Railway Bridge and Rupsha Rail Bridge only carry railway tracks. Question. What are the points of comparison in this paragraph? Your answer. Paragraph 3. The Padma Bridge features the highest pile depth compared to any bridge in the world at 120 meters, 390 feet. It also is the deepest bridge in the world, with piles installed as deep as 127 meters. When discussing the practicality of the bridge, contrary to many misbeliefs, the bridge will boost the GDP of Bangladesh by as much as 1.23%. 13 districts with higher average poverty than the rest of the country are connected to the capital. 17 new economic zones are planned, which will result in prosperity as opposed to poverty in the southwestern region. Question. What are the points of comparison in this paragraph? Your answer. Paragraph 4. Tourist spots of the southwestern Bangladesh like Kuakata and Sundarbans, and major destinations like Barisal, Faridpur, Gopalganj, Patuakhali, and Khulna are now easily reachable from the capital city of Dhaka. On the other hand, the bridge will connect Dhaka with Kolkata in a faster way. It will take at least 2 hours less compared to what it used to take. The southern part of Bangladesh has been connected to Dhaka in a shorter time by road in contrast to hassles associated with travel by ferries. Academic year 2024. Question. What are the points of comparison in this paragraph? Your answer. 94. Paragraph 5. English. From the beginning, the Padma multipurpose bridge negotiation was hampered by controversy and conspiracy. Local and international conspirators conspired to hinder the completion of the bridge. A united national effort assured the completion of this mega project. To sum it up, the Padma Bridge has changed the lives of people for the better. We should now put our minds and efforts to harvest the opportunities it opened up. With a combined effort of all the people from different walks of life, a new era of development and prosperity will be assured if the Padma Bridge is utilized to its full potential. Question. What will be your concluding paragraph for this essay? Your answer. Now follow the instructions and do the activity. Instruction. Make groups of 5 and count 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5. Write down your number so that you will not forget your number. Work on the paragraph distributed by the teacher. Read the question after each paragraph and work on that. Complete the work within the time allocated by your teacher. After completing your work, form 5 new groups. All 1, the number you were given previously, will form group 1. Likewise, all 2s will be in group 2, all 3s will be in group 3, all 4s will be in group 4 and finally, all 5s will be in group 5. Now, the new group members will share their learnings with their new group members. First, the members whose number is 1 will share their learning first, then the 2s, after the 3s, later the 4s and finally the 5s. All the new groups will discuss and work on the whole essay and rewrite the essay as a complete one. If you need, take the help of other groups and the teacher. Later, do the necessary edits and make the final draft. Finally, every group will present their essay in front of the class. After the presentation, request other groups to share their feedback. Conclude your presentation with a note of thanks. 95. The art of expressing comparisons. 6.4.2 Let's discuss, think and solve our problems. Kalo alakana kari, Bobby Ibam Samasiara Samadana kari. Follow the instructions given below to do the activity. In groups 5 to 6, discuss and identify 2 to 3 issues, problems related to your school, locality that need opinions, decisions. Later, find out the best 2 solutions to address the issues, problems. Then, write each of the issues, problems with the suggested 2 solutions individually on a piece of paper and drop them in the box. Now, as a group representative, choose one issue, problem from the box. It's time to discuss and write a compare and contrast essay on the issue, problem you have chosen. Mind that, your essay is to help take the best solution among the 2. So in your essay, you have to compare and contrast both options in a way that the readers can make their choices easily. If you want, you may write your opinion. Most importantly, follow the structure of a compare and contrast essay. Later, check the spelling, sentences and transition words of your essay with other groups and the teacher if you need and make the final draft. Later submit your final copy to your teacher. You, the teacher, may collect all the essays and make a spiral binding book and place it to the school administration to consider the students' choices or keep it in the school library for others to read. Some example issues, problems to help find yours own. Egg, banana or samucha, singara for school tiffin. Blue, white or brown, white, any color you like, for school dress. Cell phone should be allowed or not in the school campus. Tiffin time should be increased or not. 2 ways to make your school campus green. Public, private vehicles will be banned or not in front of the school gate, etc. Academic year 2024. New words, replication, transmit, localize, attribute, preservative, antioxidant, chronic, contrarily, hassle, negotiation, genetic. 96.